The thought of having a guardian angel caring for you, regardless of what you look like, regardless of your imperfections, is a beautiful feeling. With that in mind, we're going to share you the 5 most amazing angels caught on camera. Now, some of these photos you might have seen, but we're going to give you the story behind these incredible photos. Bruce Van Natter loved trucks, and his job as a self-employed diesel mechanic helped this family man live out his truck dreams and provide for his wife and 4 children. He never gave a second thought to the danger of working on engines that weighed thousands of pounds until November the 16th, 2006. On that day, Bruce was just about to go home when he was asked if he could diagnose the problem on the truck. Just as Bruce slipped under the truck, the 20-ton capacity jack holding up the truck shot out from its position. This is what Bruce said happened next, and it's nothing less than a miracle. This 10,000 to 12,000 pounds of weight that is on these 2 front wheels on this axles came down across my midsection and just crushed me in half. Blood has splattered into my throat when it fell. The man who jacked the truck up, I begged him to get me out from underneath the truck. He didn't want to because he could tell that I had broken my back, and I did. The vertebrae in my spine were cracked. I tried to pull myself out from under the truck. It was the most incredible pain you can think of. I got myself just to the point where my head is sticking out from underneath the front bumper of the truck. The very next thing I just called out, "Lord, help me." I called it out twice. Instantly, all of the pain left Bruce's body. At that point, I became unconscious. My spirit left my body and floated into the ceiling, and now my spirit is looking at the accident scene from above. The man I had been working with was on his knees above my body. I can hear him saying things like, I'm sorry," but on each side of him, also on their knees, were huge angels. They would have been about 8 feet tall. They didn't have wings, just very, very broad shoulders. Between the 2 angels and him took up the whole truck. There was a bright light shining around each one of them. They were matching bookends. They didn't budge, and I never heard them say anything. They just had their arms underneath the truck, but they were not holding the truck up. They had their arms angled in towards my body. There was no pain, just peace. I can't even describe the peace I felt in the ceiling up in the garage. Bruce was unconscious as he was flown on a life flight to the hospital. Doctors there doubted he would even survive the next few hours. His ribs were broken, his pancreas and spleen crushed, and several major arteries had been severed. We found out from doctors later that at 5 places that major arteries were completely severed. I found out from doctors that there was a medical study done in 2001. According to that study, they can't find anyone else in the world that has ever lived with 5 major arteries being severed. I should have bled to death in a few minutes. So my thoughts is the angels were there to somehow hold me together. Bruce stayed in the hospital for over 2 months and survived 5 major surgeries, yet he had overwhelming obstacles to overcome. Almost 75% of his small intestines were crushed in the accident and had to be removed. Years later, Bruce is back to his normal weight and living a healthy life. He's now a full-time minister. This picture of what looks like to be of an angel was posted on Facebook on October 16th, 2014. The pictures was taken in Lower Michigan. David was hunting when his camera that's equipped with infrared motion detection sensors was set off. To his shock, he found this image. According to Ageless Knowledge, a photo store owner evaluated the photo of the angel and was unable to debunk the photo. The store owner claims that in the 25 years he has been in business, it is the coolest picture he has ever seen. The blue luminescent figure appears to float or hover above the grass against a background of evergreens. A hospice patient who sensed a presence in a room captured this amazing image of an angel. According to the report, A female hospice patient who was close to passing over reported sensing a presence lurking in the dark areas of her room. The woman was given a camera to attempt to capture what she was sensing. She reportedly captured the glowing image of an angel. Visions of angels and glimpses into the afterlife are common reports by those near death. Hospice workers who enter the field who are skeptics often change their minds after hearing hundreds of eerily similar deathbed reports. According to Trudy Harris, a hospice worker, deathbed visions are common in her line of work. She further concludes that people know when they are about to die. She says, "No one has to tell them they are dying. They have developed what I call spiritual eyes and ears and seem to understand things in a way we cannot." Trudy says that when she first began working in hospice, she thought that deathbed visions were mere hallucinations brought on by the body's reaction to the end of life. After 20 plus years of working in the field, she says she has heard the same stories over and over from the hundreds of patients she has cared for. The similarities in the stories have convinced Trudy Harris that deathbed visions are real. This picture was taken from an old reel or film that an architect by the name of Danny Sullivan paid just £15 for in a small British junk shop. Obviously, the junk shop owner did not know the vintage film contained images of an angel. In the dusty old trunk was a photo of an angel and some letters. The film itself appears to show angels forming a crucifix-type shape in mid-air. The letters had belonged to a World War I soldier named William Doige. These letters were dated 1951 and revealed that William met an American World War II veteran who wrote to him saying they had seen the appearance of an angel before an accident that killed some of his fellow soldiers while training for D-Day landings. The soldier, who signed himself as Doug in a letter to Doige, told how his unit had been training in Woodchester Park in Gloucestershire in the spring of 1944. He described how a pontoon bridge had collapsed under the weight of armoured vehicles, killing more than 20 soldiers. Doug wrote that in the eve of the disaster, he and a friend named Chuck had seen an angel hover above where the man would later drown. He wrote, and I quote, "The whole thing took on the shape of what I could only describe as an angel. I could see what looked like a long white robe. It had no feet and there were shapes like wings behind its shoulders." Chuck, the friend who witnessed the apparition along with Doug, died on Omaha Beach and took his visions of the story with him. But Doug's letter was enough for Doige to go camera in hand in search of the angel. It appears by what he captured on film and photograph that he was successful. No one knows what happened to Doige, but the letters he received, the film, the photograph and other personal belongings somehow ended up in an old trunk at a junk shop in England until Danny Sullivan discovered it and now is able to share it with all of you. You've probably all seen this photo. It's gone viral over the years, but I'm going to be telling you the story behind the photo, which some of you might not know about. It was a dark November night in 1988. Rose Benevito, who was 58 years old at the time, was driving in eastern New York State near the border with Connecticut. She had to swerve to avoid hitting a stray dog and the airbag inflated. She couldn't remember much after that. By the wreck of the car, which you can see by the photo, it's difficult to imagine that anyone could have survived, let alone survive without a scratch. But Benevito did exactly that. She is convinced she wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for divine intervention. "It's a miracle I did survive." She claims she saw a guardian angel come to save her. Sharon Boo, a photographer from the Pauling Fire Department, captured the angel on camera. As a normal procedure, Sharon Boo photographed the wrecked car from several different angles, but it was only in one photograph that the unexplainable figure appeared. Sharon Boo said, "I have taken hundreds and hundreds of photographs and I've never come across anything like this. The photograph contains a figure. You can see through the figure and still see the automobile." Both Boo and Benevito believe that the image in the photograph is an angel who saved Benevito's life. Boo said, "I feel she had an angel looking over her shoulder." Some believe the image is simply a photo trick, or something Boo created when she developed the film. But Boo does not do her own film developing. I do not develop my own photographs, she said. I take them to a 1-hour developing photograph company. That way they can develop right away. The photograph has been looked at by 3 experts. There is no trace of any deception. The angel appears to also be on the negative of the film. Benavides said, if someone says that this is a hoax, I would have to strongly disagree with them. I am here and I survived the accident without injury. To top this, there is also proof in the photograph as well. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video. Also, we have another video of 5 most amazing angels caught on tape, and that link is in the description if you want to watch it. The question for you, which you can post in the comment section, is, do you believe in angels? We look forward to reading all your comments. Thank you.
And then at your most vulnerable state, that guardian angel performs a miracle that is just so beautiful that many believe must be an act from God. With that in mind, we are going to share you images and tape footage that many believe are angels that have been caught on tape performing miracles.